Hello and welcome to this chess game review in which a 4-year-old defeats a top chess club player. But let me set the scene for this. This occurred in the year 1892 in Havana, Cuba. And this occurred when this 4-year-old boy was at home and he saw his father playing with a friend of his, playing a game of chess with a colonel. And he was intrigued by the game and didn't know any of the rules, had never seen the game before, and he watched them play. And then he came back the second day and watched again. And on the third day, as the father and his friend were playing, the father made a move with a knight. And the boy accused his father of cheating. And he laughed. And the father got angry and said, "You don't even know how to play this. What are you talking about?" And the boy showed him the move. He had illegally moved his knight from a light square to another light square. And knights must always move to the opposite colored square. So the father realized that the boy was correct. And so right then and there, he asked the boy, "Well, what else do you know? Do you know how to set up the pieces to the board?" And the boy took all the pieces and set everything up correctly. And so then he played a game against his father and won. And so 3 days later, the father a few days later, I don't know the exact number of days, a few days later, the father took the boy to a local chess club, and one of the top players at the club offered to play against the boy with queen odds. So this top player by the name of Iglesias agreed to play, but he would play the game without a queen, figuring that he would demolish the young 4-year-old and wanted to give him some chance. And so decided to play without the queen. And so by now, you may have seen the name of the player at the top of the screen here with the black pieces. Jose Capablanca, who was the third world chess champion from 1921 to 1927. And so he learned to play at 4 years old. So let's dive into this game. And I ran it through a game review here so we can look at that as well. Okay, Iglesias, this top club player, begins with e4. And young Jose Capablanca, this 4-year-old, responds with e5. And so here, the computer recommended that d5 would have been best, but e5 is excellent. And so we'll continue here. Knight to f3. So both sides will develop pieces, but knight to f3 attacks this e5 pawn. And so Capablanca responds with knight to f6, attacking the e4 pawn. And so they trade pawns here. And not the best move was played, but excellent moves are being played so far. So now we have d4, the best move by this Iglesias, the top club player, and the game continues here, attacking the knight, so the knight must retreat, and then we have a developing move here, and it says this is best, which allows the black king to castle here shortly. And now bishop to d3, attacking this unprotected knight. So the knight retreats. And then we have c4 played here, which is an excellent move, but knight to c3 would have been better. And then castling, excellent move. And so both sides just continue developing here. And so already we are, let's see, we're almost a dozen moves in here. So Capablanca pushes this pawn, so possibly maybe developing the bishop to b7 here. But the game continues with castling queenside by white and bishop to d7. So both sides are almost completed, almost finished their development of their pieces. And so by now, this top club player, he was probably expecting this young 4-year-old to start giving away pieces, but that has not even happened yet. So the game continues with a king move. And here we have this knight move, which will allow this pawn to push forward. And so the rook moves here to anticipate and help with this c file. Anticipate that the file may break open after pawns being pushed forward and traded. But Capablanca immediately sees that he can attack the rook and the bishop here at the same time. So the rook moves to protect the bishop, but instead of just capturing here, he moves forward with this pawn, gaining space and attacking this center pawn here. So an excellent move, although b5 would have been best. So far Capablanca, for a 4-year-old, he's making excellent moves, no mistakes. So white is just hanging on, trying to see what happens and avoid losing here. And so now b5 is played, and that was the best move in this position. And so white responds with a counterattack, trying to get some kind of counterplay against the black king here. And now knight to d4 is played, although the computer recommends just capturing the pawn with bishop takes g4 as the best move. But this knight to d4 move is excellent. And so after capture, which was best, we have a pawn recapturing, and this knight jumps into the center here, the best move. And finally, b takes c4 here. So knight capturing the pawn would have been best, but instead the queen side is busted open here, and room is made for black's pieces to put pressure on the white king here. So now we have this knight capturing on f6, the bishop recaptures, and now this pawn captures. So after bishop captures the pawn on g4, which is also the best move in this position, we have the bishop retreating back and eyeing black's king side here. But after bishop to bishop to f3, another excellent move, which attacks the rook here. And so the rook moves, now counterattacking the bishop. And then we have bishop capturing on d5 here. And so at this point, this top club player is probably thinking, this is amazing. This 4-year-old is not making any mistakes here and just slowly grinding him down and trading pieces here. So bishop move, attacking the rook moves, and finally we have white aiming at the king here with this rook, and his bishops are lined up, aimed at the king side as well. So maybe some activity finally may occur here. So g6 is played, although queen to b6 would have been the best move here. but g6 is still excellent. And then after f4 here, f4 is played, which is excellent, but the h-pawn capturing this g6 pawn would have been best to help break open this protective pawn cover around the black king here. And then now we have bishop to h4, another excellent move, although the queen getting involved in the game would have been better. And now rook to g1. The rook retreats, and now the king moves to h8. Also an excellent move, getting out of the line of this rook here. And now f5 is played, although pawn capturing once again would have been better. The bishop captures, and now bishop captures, pawn captures, and it says here that this is, well, excuse me, of course that's the best move because it's recapturing a piece. So white tries a few last desperate moves trying to get some kind of play here. He moves his bishop up to try and attack the king here and cause problems. But Capablanca, he sees this, placing his rook here to fight this rook. White doubles his rooks up, but after capture, recapture, and here we have the queen keeping an eye on this g7 square. So white, he figures, well, at least I can take the queen out. But he's so behind on material, not having his own queen, that he should not have traded pieces, because after this capture, which is a great move, because after recapture and capture by the king, now white is out of pieces. And so there's nothing left he can do but use his king to go after some pawns. But we have king to d3, and Capablanca guards his pawns. And the top club player, Iglesias, he plays a few more moves after h6, and this pawn moving down by Capablanca. The king retreats, and Capablanca moves forward. And here, finally, white resigned, having played a 4-year-old. Now, although he did give up queen odds, where he started the game without his queen, still, this was quite impressive for a 4-year-old who made no mistakes. He picked excellent moves, or even the best moves. If I look at the review, let's see, the game review revealed that the club player played with 89.1% accuracy, and Capablanca, as a 4-year-old, played with 92.4% accuracy. And, you know, this was probably, who knows if Capablanca had even played a handful of games, or, you know, maybe 10 or 20 games if he was really practicing a lot in the days leading up to this. But this was pretty amazing for a 4-year-old. And Capablanca was known as a child prodigy in chess, and this shows why, especially beating his father the first time he ever plays a game of chess. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video of a 4-year-old defeating a top chess club player. And if you have enjoyed this, please like and subscribe, and feel free to leave comments or suggestions. And check out my Nick Butts Chess channel and enjoy some more videos. Thank you, and have a great day.